The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured, the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. Unlike the enemy. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the South in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back, I should be able to thin the herd.
All right.
Thank you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
Merciful Creek. Fly, Ambrosia. There are so many of them.
Not for long. Just begun. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls at the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it again. As did you, Sabine. His radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship, I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any soldier in need of relief. And today there are more than ever before.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
You're right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The Dame said it herself. We can turn things around. We just have to work together. And that goes for you, too. You're one of us now.
One of you.
Well said, Captain. Let this be a new beginning. Not only for Sanbreque, but for us.
Well, since there's nothing more to be done here, I should see if Isabel needs any help moving the wounded.
There's no need to worry anymore.
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help. Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, but I sense you would rather have died. For you, madame, I have all the time in the...
Very well. Long ago, I had a life in the Crystalline Dominion. I was Carla then, courtesan to the nobility. So sought after was I that it was only they who could afford my time. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard, the gentlest man I have ever known. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden from ever looking at me again. And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered, aimless and starving, half dreading, half praying that the next day would be our last. Until we found ourselves here, in Northreach. It was the Vale that took us in, that fed us, clothed us, and healed our hurts. Those that could be healed, at least. My love was already too far gone.
He passed away.
He did. Not long after we arrived. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace before the end. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town and her people did not end there. The men and women of the Vale supported me through my grief. Shared in it, though I was still a stranger to them. They treated me like a sister. And so I swore that I would always do the same. That I would return the kindness that Northreach showed me. That I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter. All united in defense of this town that we have come to call our home. And what of you? Can we count on your support too?
Always.
Got any more of those special elixirs?
Well met, Sid. This is the Initiate, Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are...
I am. But I swore I'd...
Who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. It taught me what one man can do, and I've been training ever since, so that one day...
I'm sure you clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions.
So...
You haven't even started. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all and bring it here.
And bring it here, right.
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost, you'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. With me.
Yeah!
These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready. Or maybe not. Damn it.
Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run!
If you want him, you'll have to go through me. course.
Got any more of those special elixirs? Fun, mate.
I didn't... Where is Ember?
He must have fled. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. He was nowhere to be seen.
I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but...
The right man for the... I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Eh? Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you then, Nazaire.
But Sid...
He did what he thought was best.
Of course. Don't you leave my...
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision. It's still here. A lot smaller than I remember, and you're a lot bigger.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure. Hop in, boy. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Was, or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. never stop looking for me. Did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal, for never giving up. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home. Sorry for the wait. We're ready. It's oil. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all. This should be enough.
Hell would Victor take the bearers?
Here to help me pack. Thanks, but I'll be traveling light.
You're really going to go through with this then?
I am. But before I go, there is one small issue.
If it's within my power to help you.
It's the children. And if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized forever. I can think of only one place where they are certain.
Of course.
Thank you, Clive.
Lubor,
What is it, Ferda?
there's been a flood in the Velcroy. A damn big one. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has turned.
Bandits are one thing, but Akashic bandits are quite another. We need to evacuate. Ferda, gather the men. The Akashic may strike at any moment. We must make ready. Well, what do you wait?
Yes, my lord.
Clive, change of... The children stay with me for now. I need you to find... Tell them to prepare for a full and immediate evacuation.
Understood.
I'll do what I can to convince everyone else.
What's an Akash?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside?
What do you want, Lord Underhill?
To pass on an important message. There's been an ether flood out in the Velcroy. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathering has been swallowed. They're no longer just bandits. They're Akashic now. You need to begin preparing for a full-scale evacuation.
Oh, do we? And who was it who gave you this?
Lubor, perhaps? The man spread... You may believe his lies, my lord.
But why would he lie about something like...
Some twisted attempt at... If he had not been unmasked, he may well have a great honor for one of it. One he might well feel aggrieved.
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but Lubor cannot be trusted.
You may not trust me. But for this, if there is any chance that this is...
There isn't. Now be off with you.
You're making a mistake.
Come, Clive. If our words will not move them, then we must find another way to help save the town.
You're right. Let's speak to Lord Ferda.
I think we'd better shut up shop for today.
What's Lubor raving about now?
Oh, what's the point in encouraging people to have a bath to raise their flagging spirits? They're sure to be crushed again the moment they get out.
What commotion is this, I ask myself?
Are you looking for something in particular? An excellent choice. My thanks.
Lord Ferda.
Sid.
I went to warn Conrad and Natalie about the Akash. They've convinced themselves that nothing Lubor says can... A bloody fool. Which means the town guard can't be counted on for support, but I can. If you only have to ask.
I appreciate it.
Sid! Ferda!
Victor.
I couldn't abandon a friend, and Lubor is in need at this very moment. You
have to believe me. The Akashic are coming. They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't tire, and they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There will be no parley, no mercy granted. We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe me. If you do not run, you will die. You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves.
You should run! Run, bearer!
Yeah, run! Far, far away!
Run!
Just go on. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes!
Go on, then.
Go on, go!
Just go.
Lubor, wait. Someone's coming. Go.
Stop! You're hurting him! What did Lubor ever do to you? He solves all your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad?
And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that?
Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty?
Who spends all day, every day making sure things run smoothly around here? And none of you ever say thank you. Ever.
But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling?
He keeps this whole place going. And you act like he doesn't even exist.
Lubor, we've heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
We won't run, but we will fight.
All right, then. Fine. Gather round if you don't want to die.
Allow me to explain the situation. The ether flood occurred near the village of Cheratin. The place had been abandoned until the League of Outlaws. Now they're all turned, and...
They are mindless. With the bandits, when these creatures... The town guard will muster... Both forces will provide men to... And as soon as it has been... Conrad, can I...
Always.
I leave the selection and coordination of the messengers and the command of our men in yours, Ferda.
Consider it as you...
Natalie, And tell the merchant not to waste time securing anything beside the essentials. Preserve, as long as we survive, it doesn't matter. Our riches can be regained. And if anyone...
Very well.
Where do I fit into this?
Where else but the most I would like you to travel to the home of our erstwhile League of Outmain host is most likely still there. And Dalimil will not be safe until it is
a little gardening.
I doubt it. I have a feeling these weeds will be particularly stubborn.
Luckily, so am I.
So you are. All right then, we all know what we have to do. Now it's simply a matter of doing it. For Dalimil.
Looks like everyone's ready. I'd better not keep them waiting.
Come on.
There it is. The flood. But what's waiting for us inside? We can't leave a single one alive. The League is disbanded. I should get back to Dalimil and see how the others fared.
All the Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
Last of them here, perhaps.
Lubor, Sir Clive has returned.
Clive! What news from Charatina?
It's done. Root and branch.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Thank you, my lord.
Friends, the Horde has been driven back. The Akashic have been defeated. And we need not fear the arrival of any more, thanks to Clive. Victory is ours.
We bloody did it!
We saved Dalimil.
Lubor, allow me to apologize. After all you have done for this town, we should never have doubted you.
But we did. And for that we are truly sorry. We only hope that you can forgive us.
We need you, Lubor. Dalimil needs you. So, if you would still like to be considered for the position of mayor, you have our backing.
You do remember that I'm a bearer, don't you?
We do. But that is not a stain on your character. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of what we perceived bearers to be, not what you truly are. The man who saved Dalimil twice over.
I see. But I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept my leadership, it will be doomed from the start. Unity is the key to defending Dalimil, and I do not doubt that we shall need to call on our combined strength again. When that time comes, I will expect us all to pull together, just as we did today.
Of course. You have our word.
And secondly, you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here in Dalimil. Any bearer within our walls shall be afforded the same rights as any other citizen. They will not be judged by what they are, but who they are.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing everything.
We agree to your conditions. And we have only one in return. That you continue to work for the good of Dalimil, as you always have.
Condition accepted. Well then, it seems my mayorship is all but confirmed. Do I get some sort of special hat? How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, I had resigned myself to leaving Dalimil in disgrace. And now, I find myself her leader. Here. For everything.
Lubor. About the children.
Fear not. You are, of course, relieved of your responsibility. I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see them brought up as outlaws. I'll make sure they're safe here.
I don't doubt that you will. And not just the children, but everyone in Dalimil.
I'll do my best. Can't have all your hard work going to waste.
Here, take a look at my wares. Take care.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned
the day before we left for Phoenix.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim, but your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken, but with the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides, those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Not a scratch on them.
Here's the scraps you're after.
My lord, Your Grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself. but it was not to be. He's works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to...
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else? Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Lord Marquis, if you have a moment.
What is it, Cyril?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait in order to pursue a new avenue of inquiry in our ongoing investigation. He sent an owl some while ago, but we have heard naught from him since.
Was he surveying another fallen ruin?
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has arisen in Ash in recent years. We believe it may have some connection to the Circle of Malleus, an ancient religion that worshipped Ultima as its god. By gaining an understanding of this new faith, we hoped to learn more of the Circle's original beliefs.
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash? A continent teeming with orcs and Akashic?
Fully cognizant of the risks, yes. I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order, the Third Chair, a master of the arts of combat and survival both. Though he has been silent for some days now, I have thus far refrained from sending any others in search of him, lest they be lost in turn. Yet, it seemed only right to inform you of the situation, given your unique experience of the perils of Ash. For as you so earnestly advised me, it would not do to abandon a man to his fate, when he might yet be saved.
But Ash is a big place.
Perhaps. The last owl I received from him mentioned of Mickleburg was its name. It lies in the if aught ill befell.
Right.
You are go then with...
Let's go. Fly, Ambrosia. Here we are again. Carava. If you were a tortoise, Torgor, where would you hide? Looks like we found him. I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype. Eyes peeled, Joshua. There it is. For House Rossfield. Too slow. Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Godotha will know.
This is the Requietry, an archive where we of the Undying collect and collate our findings. Fragments of...
Oh, thank the Founder you was the Griffinist.
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes, this radiant luster like frozen flame is... Thank you, your father...
Lady Godotha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. If you would excuse me. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Godotha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew I tried to warn your father, but it was when word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the...
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the... And so my pursuit continued. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered.
Lady Godotha, On behalf of... As do I.
Thank you, my lord, for coming back to us.
Bands. So it must be gratifying to finally receive.
It is.
If you would permit me to play my part a little, let him see that you have received his blood.
I suppose it would be churlish, not... What do you say, Clive?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
Your father's helm is enshrined since the day we recovered it. I prithee claim it. For it too, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hand.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive.
Faster!
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies? That I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
You won't find a finer array this side of the strait. You've a discerning eye.
Do you see that too?
What is it? Oh, please. Just make it stop. I'm scared.
Let's go. Run like the wind. Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your... Please, Field Marshal.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him. To me, Flames!
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you...
No, my lord. You are right.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard, but I hadn't thought the corruption had reached. It's a fact. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn my lord, Ma. Or is Sid the outlaw more to your like?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change your... or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he...
Before I'd have you answer one. What do you...
I won't deny that I might benefit from further care, but I seek a new beginning. And while the choices I've made, I know for so long. So when it should have been our decision all, but in order to take it, we must
Certainly not the words I expected from an out. You are, no. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most... Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I...
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of... We will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen.
I'm flattered. And I have other problems to attend. What we need is a skilled arbitrator.
Is that, sir? And would he happen to be...
Of a different kind.
Beg it. I suppose we'll all have to find a little...
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. Someone like Quentin. Quentin.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of... Go on, then. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their... and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years.
I know it's a lot to ask.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told the people of Lostwing are my family. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak. If it's the vineyard, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself.
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced... Who's to say you couldn't convince the entire...
A stirring... I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat, but...
So you'll join us? Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. I can arrange for a party of cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from...
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Not here. No use calling Ambrosia now. Good girl.
Quiet.
Might this be Nickelbug?
Be safe. These people aren't turned. And the village seems safe. What is going on here?
Ah. Did you?
Heed the call? No, to be honest,
Is that...
What are you doing here?
It is my home.
You keep saying that.
They came to perform the rite. This village, where they shall cast their souls upon the gentle water.
Give themselves.
Oh, Lord.
Let free us from...
They won't. Forgive me. But did another foreigner, like me, come here?
You mean the traveler from Storm? Yes.
Thank you.
They seek the same salvation Barnabas did. At least the third chest lives. Let's go and find him.
Excuse me.
I am. And so it would appear, are you? Lord Rosfield, if I am not mistaken.
That's right. And you must be the third chair.
I am.
Cyril was worried for your safety. He sent me to find you.
Then I must apologize. I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill. Much less you, my Lord Marquis.
He said that you had failed to report. Is there a reason for that?
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. But the more I learned of them, the more my own faith began to falter. You have seen them at their prayers, have you not? They devote themselves to the veneration of their Lord with a fervor I have never seen before. Praying night and day that they might be rid of their wicked wills and reborn in their Saviour's light. Not that they might be granted respite from their worldly woes, but so that they might continue to serve him. Serve him with all of their beings. I, too, swore to devote my life to the service of my Lord and Master, but this... 'tis different. It is more. And so I would see it through to the end. See these people safe, that they might achieve their dream. That they might do their duty to their Lord. Even if it should keep me from doing my duty to mine.
You do understand what their dream is, don't you?
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their wills and become a Kashik. I know that it may be hard to believe, but to these people, that is the very essence of salvation. Forgive me, my lord, but I must remain here. If you are to return to Master Cyril, I would consider it a great... Did you hear that, my lord? Something is happening.
I'll go and find out what. Stay here. An ether flood. Oh no. There must be something I can do. Echoes as well. Found her.
Ready, brother?
Ready. What now? We meet again. I've killed your kind before. it! Don't you die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation by devoting themselves to the service of their Lord, just as I did when the Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in, a duty to serve was everything to me, and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become a Kashik in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this. My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Of course. Your duty will be done.
Look, my lord. They are saved.
They are saved. I should get this reported.
News has reached us of the black bulk that soars over the strait.
My Lord Marquis, I am glad to see...
I met with your third chair, Cyril. He bade me deliver his findings to you.
Thank you, my lord. He remained in Ash?
He died protecting the villagers from Anek. I buried him in Mickelberg.
If you could not say...
The villagers, they prayed to their god that they might be unburdened of their will. Then an ether flood came. And their wish was granted. Your brother sacrificed himself that they might... Even knowing that that life... was death by another name.
Then he perished defending For the right to choose how one dies is no less sacred than the right to choose how one lives.
Sid would agree.
A noble ambition. To die, it matters not how misguided, only that the decision we live according to the for better or worse.
But he didn't die for your creed, and you still believe that what he did was...
I believe we of the Undying are not slaves, and this was his will.
I'd like to know this man's name, Cyril. To know the names of all the Undying who've fallen in the line of duty. They died serving my house. That is my duty.
Of course, I shall fetch the Book of Martyrs. My lord, it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve. Though our duties may differ, yours and were they here,
Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashik. I need to hurry. There were no guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the Wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet, but let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether's thickest there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. Locked up tight.
Caution, brother. Farewell. It's over. Caution, brother.
No sign of any bearers yet. I hope you have better luck downstairs.
Have care. Caution, brother.
Minimal loss of Waluda lives. Even the Imperials take better care of their... They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared.
No sign of any bearers yet. I hope you have better luck downstairs.
So this place was no ordinary prison. And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled. Nothing but a Kashik down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on. No luck downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents and... it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And not just those who could fight, but those who wouldn't. Or couldn't, or...
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they...
Then we're too late.
Don't say that.
A key. But it doesn't fit in...
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. Finish up here.
All right.
Let's see what we can find down here. A survivor. And she sounds close. There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone?
Some of the guards. Everyone else.
Thank the...
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger.
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must... What?
He fought them once. He must have sent you. Where is he? He opened...
Chadwick.
Was that?
We have to get out.
Doris.
All right. You put that bearer-eating...
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
Cid.
I'm fine. What is it?
A diary. He was here.
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last.
Chadwick.
Come on. We have to get her.
No. I'll see that she's looked after from now on.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher. I thank the flames we found her.
I know. I'm sorry we weren't able to...
There's no need to apologize. How he fought to the bitter end. That's the man I remember.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake, so we escaped. But staying together after so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong.
But even in captivity, and he died not as someone's tool.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers and the curse breakers will I'll fight until my dying.
Thank you, Doris.
I wasn't expecting you back so soon. All yours. Come again. I may have more. For ya.
guard dogs. Specimens, too.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here.
What's that for you, dear? No scratches, all right? That it? Fine.
match for you, eh, Torgal? The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in? This is a Royal Army logbook. His interests were certainly varied. This is it. But if what it said is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another...
Then I'll have to polite. I won't let you arrest.
Then we find us very well.
Let's see, shall we?
Help me, boy. Impressive. But we have other means.
Why do you want it so bad?
It lays out in no uncertain terms. It tells the shameful history of the persecution. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't? Your sword may be sharp, so let me answer. There is no correct. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. It is a question of if enough people believe that a set of events occur.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect from knowledge that would bring... That is all. You may keep the book. The world is small. Until then.
Wait. Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Fly, Ambrosia. I can walk from here. This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here. Conditioning. Disposed of. Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place. I need to find that. This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out. Forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. This must be the registry. bloody name. This place was a... And where is the architect of all this? Where is it in the end of time, I suppose? This place is cursed. I'm done here. Let's get the registry back to Herman.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Those things didn't fight like men. Faster!
Be safe.
Trouble with your gear, or... So, what'll it be? No scratches, all right? And? Well, not saying Fordian, dear. That it? Fine.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his. But yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle-axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest...
Of course.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with a cash?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
Perhaps I might suggest, though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. 2 such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the like. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great
Us? I can't Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a
criminal? How How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He called...
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation. We wish simply to bring stability to the... And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals. There will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine if we show them the fate of the world lies in my nephew, but the well-being of her people lies in our...
Uncle Byron.
Now, with that settled, for what great moment in history... Citizens of Valisthea! Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall, and there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
What do you think that thing is?
should have seen him. The thing didn't stand a chance.
Neither did you.
Vivian, I found it.
Even though I asked, I fear the executors.
I met with and I convinced him to. He told me something. The truth is just a matter. And that if enough people.
It does, but it also means that the truth is not, provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people. As the sad history.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you. As I do.
I'll try, Vivian.
You make it.
Tell me.
It's most of what I need, and a cogwheel. Just gears that small are a bastard to make, and I.
Wait, the children. When they took apart. Now that I think about it, they didn't use it.
The young'uns? But why would the. I'll keep working on the model. You go and.
Sid!
She wasn't. She's just busy working on.
A new invention? Is it an air?
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs a brass gear. A tiny one.
Oh, the one.
We saved it, just in case.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then all the pieces that are left over, we keep under our bed.
That's...
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear?
That's all for now.
Thanks, Sid.
Has
Middledole mentioned a new project yet?
Not exactly. She seems preoccupied. Well?
They did.
Will it work?
What exactly are you going to use it?
Only the most. The wings aren't going to move on their own. But with the right well. That should do her. Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my Mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
Mitterdol mentioned a new project yet?
Not exactly. She seems preoccupied, but then again...
I hear that you... Did you by any chance?
I did.
If the director was a brutal man.
The registry was all I found, Bruni. There was no sign of a body. Nor any record of what...
I pray that at least all their names are here, my friends. I can still remember their children who were taken. No explanation.
They'd be happy to know that you survived.
But why did I make it out alive?
It's not your fault. See that their names live on.
I'm going to write a book. All of Valisti, and in the name of those...
Neither will I.
These records...
You should have seen him.
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back.
Yes. Welcome back. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in, but from what I hear...
No. Ember lost his nerve, but he didn't lose heart.
Indeed it is. Thank you. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But after all...
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade. And any mind can conquer its fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conk and a half. Wouldn't do to waste it now, would it?
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you. Just you wait.
Daft as a brush, that one. But his heart's in the right place. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
You couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out as I expected.
Things really do these days. But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you.